Hello everyone, it's Jessica Michaels here with Shimmerz Design Team. So if you use my code in the shop, Jessica, you get a free gift along with your order. I'm going to start this layout off with a background paper by Vicki Boutin from the Where to Next collection, and I'm just going to soften it up a bit with some white gesso so that I can create a platform to actually put my mixed media on so it doesn't warp up my paper too bad. And it also will allow some movement within my paints and allow them to blend and move together. So I'm just going to add a little bit more on the top and the bottom. I'm just using a spatula that I got from Amazon. It's just a silicone spatula to blend this out and just soften the edges a little bit. I'm kind of pulling a little bit off of that splotch in the middle just to add on the edges to soften those. And I've got a cut file here that I'm using today by Peartree Cutfiles. So I'm just pulling out one of the small papers in the smaller paper pad from the collection to back this with, and I'm just going to apply some Nuvo glue. Mine was clogged up, so I had to stick a pin down in it to unclog it because I accidentally left it sit out like you see it sitting on my desk there, so then it ended up clogging the tip. So in order to actually back my cut file, I am just applying that Nuvo glue to the back, and then I'm just trimming it out with my scissors. I'm going to get the middle bits trimmed out here with my X-Acto knife, and I didn't bother grabbing a cutting mat or anything because it's just such a small piece that I'm popping out. I just used it on my glass mat. I know I shouldn't, it does scratch it, but you know what? My glass mat is been so heavily used at this point that I don't think anything's really going to hurt it. So as you can see, I don't have my normal setup on my desk here. I'm actually at a crop whenever I was filming this, and this is actually, I think, one of the last layouts I did. So you can see my table is nice and covered with little paper scraps and glitter and all different things. But hey, I got some things done and I had a blast at the crop, so that's what matters, right? I'm just programming in my date here into my roller date stamp by Paige Evans, and I'm going to go ahead and map my photos with some smooth white cardstock. I've got 2 photos of my son that I'm using along with this cut file today. I actually requested this cut file a while back for these specific photos in mind when I was still on the Peartree design team, and Marie was really nice and created it for me. So I have this beautiful little cut file that says lunch date for the photos of my son while we were out eating. I think he had a doctor's appointment that day, so we just kind of had like a little one-on-one time, which we don't really get that often, so it was really nice. So here I've grabbed some Shimmerz pots. I've got let's see, I've got Carrot Top in Shimmerz and Bumbly Bee, and then a Creameez in my Clementine. So I've added a little bit of water to activate them. I'm just going to use my paintbrush and some water to get that down onto my layout, and then I'm spritzing my layout itself with water to help blend these colors and provide some movement. So you'll see me kind of spritz that around, and I'm just going to pick up my paper and just kind of let it do its thing and blend those colors together a little bit. And I just love the way that that looks, and they kind of swish around and create an all new effect all on their own. So at this point, I'm just going to continue building the layers, and I'm going to add some splatters with some of these colors just to kind of break that up and add like a marbled effect to that. And it also adds some splatters to the outside of the gesso and pulls it throughout the rest of the paper. And I'm going to go ahead and start working on the bottom section of that now. I wanted kind of 2 distinct colors. I wanted some bluish greens at the bottom and that beautiful yellowish orange at the top. So that's kind of why I kept that separated in the middle. They're going to bleed together here in a moment right in the middle, but you'll see me dab that up with my paper towel because I know it creates green. I have green that I'm adding in here. I don't mind that, but I don't want those 2 colors to blend completely together and create like a brown mess. So I'm trying to keep them separate as much as I can here. But again, I don't mind a little bit of blending, but I just don't want to create a brown splotch. So I know my cut file is going to lay somewhere in there. I'm going to go ahead and grab my heat gun here at this point. I am picking up my paper and moving it around as I'm drying this. I am a super impatient person whenever it comes to letting this just sit and dry and do its thing. So as I'm drying this with my heat gun, I'm using water and I'm blending in the colors and blending them out towards the edges at the same time. That way I can get the look that I want. I'm just adding some white splatters with some whites of their eyes color. And I'm just flicking that on there with the actual spray piece that goes in the bottle. Then I just used my paper towel, ran it right over the top, and I'm just going to continue building my layers. I'm adding some more splatters in the different colors. I'm alternating between the oranges and at the top, and then the blues and the greens at the bottom. I'm just basically breaking up those colors and just creating some more layers in there. I love all of these orange and yellows. I think those colors are just absolutely gorgeous. And I'm just kind of drawn to the orange in my layouts. I love adding orange. I love putting orange with boy layouts, girl layouts, whatever. It just seems to work with my scrappy style, but you know that I also love my grunge. I love my blues and greens as well, so that's kind of my jam. But all of these colors are just so pretty, and these shimmers and the creamies, I love them all. I can't get enough. So I'm just going to continue flicking on different colors and building my layers and just kind of watching this come to life. So I've got my cut file on the side here. It's pretty much done at this point. I'm adding some bigger splotches here just by squishing my paintbrush, and then I'm just drying up the excess with my paper towel roll. I like to just dry them up by just kind of rolling that paper towel right over top the layout. And I love this. I love the way that this is looking. I think this is going to be a perfect little backdrop for my photos. Again, coming in with these white splatters again, a second time or a third time. I'm not even sure at this point, but I just wanted to break it up just a little bit more and put a little bit more splattering on the paper itself on the outside portion of my mixed media. I did dry up underneath my paper because it was getting a little bit wet underneath just from that kind of soaking in. So I'm going to just go ahead and work on layering my photos with some different patterns from this collection. And I'm just going to layer them around my photos, behind them. I'm not being too particular about covering the whole thing. I'm going to rough up some of these edges with my fingernails or my edge distresser and just add a whole bunch of pieces. A lot of these are just scraps that I had left over from this collection, so I'm just adding these behind my photo. I'm pulling in different colors. This one has a little bit of a branding strip. I kept most of it on actually, but I did trim it down just a tad. That way it would matte nice behind my photo. So there's my little guy. Isn't he just the cutest? I took him for subs that day, or hoagies. I know they're called different things in different places, but we call them hoagies around here, but I usually call them subs. But yeah, we went for sandwiches, and he just loved that. He loved that he got his own little sandwich and could just sit at a little table and enjoy it with me. And he was just so cute and sweet. It was just a really good day. And yeah, so I'm just still adding more layers. I really like to add a lot of layers behind my photo. Sometimes I grab some tissue paper, just pretty much anything that I can grab at this point. But I'm adding all of the things. So I've got lots of different patterns pulled in from this collection. I just wanted this to be kind of a bright, fun, and colorful layout because it was just such a nice day and such a nice memory between us and when he was actually being sweet for once. He's my second born child, and everybody says that that's the wild child. My firstborn's actually my wild child, but my second born is giving him a run for his money right now. So he is currently 4 years old, and my other son is 5, and I also have a baby girl that's 1. So it's super busy around here and crazy most of the time, but it's all in good fun, right? So I've got my photos there. I think I'm pretty much done adding to them at this point. I'm going to go ahead and see how my cut file looks, and I'm going to tape my photos together so they're staggered and I don't have to worry about them coming apart. I've got my cut file here. I'm just going to use some 3D foam squares to pop that up and put it on there along with my photos. I did stick it to my photos before I added adhesive to my photos and then realized what I did. So you're going to see me peel the photos back here in a second and add some Nuvo glue behind them so that they're nice and stuck down. Just because I forgot. So it's all good. I'm going to go ahead and stick that down at this point and we'll be good to go. I've grabbed the sticker book from this collection that I'm just going to sift through. I've also grabbed this sticker sheet from Let's Wander collection. It's an oldie but a goodie. I only have little bits of it left, but it has a lot of foodie bits on it, so I thought it would be a good thing to bring along and maybe incorporate into this. So I added a couple things from that. And then I'm just grabbing the chippies here from this collection. I'm gonna add a few of those. I'm gonna end up adding some other embellishments and some thread behind a few things, and I'm just gonna finish embellishing this. So I'll pop some music in here. I'm gonna try to link everything in the description below for you. Again, if you guys place an order on the website, be sure to put my code in the box, Jessica, and you'll get a free gift with your order, which is a really nice gift. It's always something really, really nice. So don't forget to put that in your box whenever you place the order. I'll try to link everything below that I've used for you today in case you want to grab anything from the shop. So I'll pop some music in here and then I'll stop back in and show you the end result. here's the finished layout. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this today. I hope I've inspired you to create something and just get those supplies out and use them. So thank you guys so much for being here. Hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more of my videos, and have a great day. Bye bye.